Hello students, we're about halfway through the course now and everyone is really doing well with the assignments and the discussion boards. Grace and I know that this is a very intense course, but you're all keeping up with the assignments quite well and you're staying engaged on the discussion board, so we're pretty happy with the way things are going. I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. First, the discussion boards. As said, from our perspective, the discussion boards are going very well, and actually we're very open to hearing your feedback on how you think they're going as well. But from our perspective, again, I think you're doing very well. You're really engaging deeply in the readings and in reflecting on your experiences and posting thoughtful responses to the readings. The discussion boards are designed to be a discussion, so just one recommendation: to work very well the discussion boards, each time you post in a thread, you kind of need to take responsibility for that thread. So make sure that that you don't just start the conversation in that thread and then just walk away. It would be kind of rude to just start a conversation and then walk away from it. Make sure that you keep coming back and checking on your threads regularly, and when people ask you a question or post a comment on your thread, make sure that you respond to that as well. So make sure you check your threads very frequently, once a day or so after you've posted it, and answer the questions in the comments that are posted in that thread. Now, second, remember to check the dates on the little Excel spreadsheet that we emailed to you, telling you when you're moderator and when you are a summarizer. I've also posted those threads in those Excel spreadsheets in the assignment section of the course, so you can see them there right on top of the discussion boards. I think initially some of you found that those Excel files were blank. That problem has been fixed, so the schedules up there are accurate. Now remember, when you're a moderator, we need you to be very active in the discussions, and I think this has been hit and miss from week to week. You need to be very active in the discussions, reading the threads and posting comments and questions. And we've given guidance for the types of questions we want you to ask, the types of questions that are helpful in the assignment section of the course. Okay, so the next thing we wanted to talk to you about is the reflective career planning paper that is due next week. And we wanted to give you a little bit of guidance. So this paper is designed to be an application of this book, which is Benner's book, From Novice to Expert. And you've had assignments to keep up on readings all along. So the first thing that you need to do before you even start writing the paper is make sure that you have caught up on the Benner readings before even starting the paper. The next thing that we would like you to do is make sure that you follow the guide in the assignment sheet, and that sheet is right here. Okay, so here we have the assignment sheet, Reflective Career Planning, and we tell you exactly what it is. So this is a 3 to 5 page paper that's analyzing your current career using the Dreyfus model. So again, this is really an application of Benner's book and the Dreyfus model that she presents to your specific career. So the first thing you should do is analyze your career by providing a description of your current roles, including are you just working as a bedside nurse, or do you also have some significant preceptor roles and education roles? Or are you a leader now? Do you work as a nurse leader, a manager, a clinical resource nurse, or do you have other roles? Now, roles are a little bit different. Benner talks in her book about different domains. So as a clinical nurse, you're going to be working in several different domains. Which I think she mentioned 7 domains. So I'm not talking about domains here. I'm really talking about distinct roles. So if you're a bedside nurse, some of you may have several roles. You may work as for instance, I'll just give an example for myself. I work as a faculty member at the School of Nursing, and I work as a nurse practitioner clinically on the weekends. So some of you may have this as well, where maybe you work as a nurse leader in one area, but then you do some per diem time as a bedside nurse, either on your floor or on another unit. So that's what I mean by distinct roles. So after describing your role or roles, then analyze each one, kind of decide where you're at on the Dreyfus model. Are you an advanced beginner that's just started out on the floor? Are you have you gained the level of competence? Are you an expert? And then describe what that means. So you're going to have to refer specifically to Benner's text about how she defines each of those roles and tell us how you match those roles. Okay? And then the next thing we want you to do is describe your career goals. Where do you want to be going? Do you want to become an expert nurse leader? Do you want to become an expert clinical nurse, but you're not quite there yet? How are you going to develop this expertise? And I want you to use Benner's theory to do that. And just to point you in one direction, one thing that she talks about is that we advance along the Dreyfus model from novice to expert through experience. But she defines experience very uniquely. So experience is not just defined by the amount of time that you have undertaken your current role. She has a more specific definition. So pay very close attention to how she defines experience. And also think about, and you may need to go beyond Benner's theory, and even, I would recommend that you might even want to bring Kolb into this. How are you going to make the most of the experiences that you have so you can advance from on your path from novice to expert? Okay? We have some recommendations on how you can do this. This is really a representation of the writing process and is a good process to work through as you work on any paper. Start out with brainstorming, write your first draft, and do this without sort of letting the inner critic and all of us sort of get in and stop the process. The best way to write a draft is to write it as fast as you can, just like you're running a race. Okay? And then after writing your first draft, go read through it and use your draft as a way to figure out what are the most important ideas in your paper. And then figure out what the focus of your paper is going to be. Organize your paper by either creating an idea map, or perhaps, if it works for you, writing an outline. And then create a second draft that is organized around the focal point of your paper and follows the organizational structure that you've made. Then after writing that second draft, go through a third time and edit. Make sure that your sentences, your paragraphs are well structured, your sentences are strong, and go through and do line editing where you're looking for errors of grammar or spelling. Okay, and then your last step is going to be make sure that it's an APA format. And again, Grace and I are here. I would be happy to look at pieces of your paper, or even read quickly through a late stage draft to provide you guidance. Or if you're just having trouble getting started, I'd be happy to talk to you. So please email me. We can either converse on email, or I'd be happy to talk to you on the phone as well as you work through this assignment. Okay. Now it's interesting because I think that sometimes we're all happy to see that this is a fairly short paper, but I just want to warn you, sometimes the shorter papers are actually more difficult to write because you really are going to need to be concise and succinct, and not kind of ramble on. You're really going to have to make your points and support them in a short period of time. Okay, so great. Again, if you have any questions, please contact Grace or myself, and we look forward to seeing your assignments and see you on the discussion board.